We're about to get a promotion. We're so different from you bottom feeders.
The ones who told me this were James and his friends, who have been harassing me since elementary school. There were two more besides my classmate James. Why are these four in the same company, like an extension of the school? I was kind of praying to God for goodness sake. I joined this company mid-career when I was 30 years old. After that, James and the others would find out who I was. My name is John Smith. I am 33 years old. Soon I'll be married. Let's take a look back at my life since I was a little boy. I'm an only son raised by my parents who work for a large corporation. My dad often business trips abroad, and we didn't need a particularly large house, so we lived in an apartment where my maternal grandmother lived. In the same apartment complex, there was a girl in my class named Amelia. Amelia didn't have a dad and lived with her grandmother and mom, just like me. When I entered elementary school, I was in the same school group as Amelia, and we became good friends as childhood friends. I'm a rather quiet person. Amelia was bright, beautiful, and had many friends. My mom met and married my dad at the same company. My dad worked for an international company, so he spoke Spanish, and we often conversed in Spanish at home. My mom also had a little command of Spanish. Because of my parents' influence, I naturally spoke Spanish at home. Amelia and I used to play games together in the lower grades. However, in the upper grades, we became more and more gender conscious and did not play as much. When I was in the third grade, James, who was in the same class as me, came to my house for the first time with his 3 cronies.
This house is so small. We can't all play together like this.
Your family is poor, isn't it? Let's go home. I'll get depressed about poverty.
Yeah, let's go home.
Just then, my grandmother was in the kitchen and seemed to hear it from my room, and after everyone left, she told me, "John, we're not poor, you know. Don't worry about it, okay?" But then, at school, I was harassed, especially by James, as a poor guy living in a small apartment. I didn't mind, but James was bossy, so I couldn't make friends. I didn't dislike studying, so I spent my lunch break alone reviewing and preparing. During my senior year, my dad was transferred to Europe again. I belonged to a book club at school. Amelia was also in the same club, but Amelia was popular among the boys, and perhaps because of envy from the girls, she was also harassed, and before long her cheerful personality changed. She didn't seem to have any friends. She was reading quietly by herself. I really had feelings for Amelia, but my heart was pounding and I couldn't even speak to her. I was a good student, but my mom gave me a tutor and a private tutor for Spanish conversation as well. So I was spared from the after-school loneliness. The 2 teachers were fun to joke with and made me laugh while I studied. The harassment of James and his friends continued in junior high school and continued in high school as well. At that time, James was on his cell phone, and he was still texting his classmates all over the class about how I was poor, and that if I befriended him, I would be poor. Amelia and I also went to the same high school. Then Amelia came to my house one day and told me about the email. I probably would have been red in the face at her unexpected visit.
John, there is this email going around. I saw it too, but I don't think I'm one of them.
Oh, Amelia, thanks for telling me. Yeah, I don't mind, you know. I thanked Amelia for her help. Thanks to my tutor, my first test was first in my grade. So James and the others' harassment got even worse.
What the hell, John? You're poor, but you can only study? I bet you don't have any friends anyway. And you can't even get them to buy you a game.
I ignored them. Then I went home and my school shoes were not in my locker. I went to the staff room, told the homeroom teacher about it. James and his friends had joined a soccer club, but I was taking tutoring classes after school. One day, James said to me,
Hey, John, you can't even buy your school shoes. You, poor thing, wearing sports shoes even in on the way home.
I don't know when he saw my locker, but he came all the way to my class, even though we were in different classes, and laughed with his friends. This convinced me that James was the one who hid my shoes somewhere. Then, Amelia approached me from behind on her way home.
John, you're wearing shoes.
Oh yeah. I've been putting my shoes in my school bag since someone stole them before.
I see, you've thought about it.
Yeah. So I said, and we walked back to home together, though we were silent that day. Before getting on the elevator at our apartment, Amelia said,
I'm working part-time at a restaurant there right now. Come eat with your family if you want.
Oh, I'd love to.
But I have a day off shift. So do you want to exchange contact information just in case?
Well, yeah. With that said, we exchanged cell phone addresses via infrared. And I told my mom and grandma. You know, my neighbor Amelia, she works part-time at a restaurant, and she told me to come over with my family.
Really? Well, let's go this Sunday, shall we?
So I texted Amelia's cell phone asking if she would be there on Sunday, and she replied that she would be. And I went to the restaurant with my grandma and mom.
Thanks to both Julie and John's grandma for coming.
Amelia, you've become more and more beautiful.
That's what my mom and grandma said, and Amelia said thank you with a pretty face with light makeup and a blush on her cheeks. I thought it was really cute too. We ordered lunch and had them. Amelia had a good customer service and worked well. I'm more of an introvert, so I respected Amelia for that. In my second year of high school, I was in the same class as James. I was still not taken seriously by my classmates because of his. My studies were quite advanced with tutoring, and I was already studying for college. I was bored out of my mind at school. So one day, I missed school, and I wanted to drop out of high school. Even though I say I don't mind being harassed, I don't want to see James and the others as much as possible. I decided to talk to my mom about it. Then I told her about the abuse from James and decided to take the high school equivalency test. I accepted my high school diploma right away. I had Spanish and other tutoring at home during the day and continued my studies. My mom bought me a computer. Study properly for now and learn the keyboard while chatting on the computer. And I sent an email in Spanish to my dad in Europe to let him know what was going on. My dad responded the next day, also in Spanish, due to the time difference. The content of his email was, "Would you like to come to Europe?" I discussed it with my mom. She pushed me to go and study because the world is a big place. I wanted to be the first to tell Amelia. Amelia sent me an email, "I see you quit school," and I was wondering what to reply. I gathered my courage and wanted to talk to Amelia alone once. I texted Amelia to find out the day of her part-time job and asked her what time she would be off work. I then told her that I would be at the restaurant before 8 p.m. at the end of Amelia's part-time job. Then, On the appointed day, I ate at the restaurant with Amelia after her part-time job. I felt like my heart was going to jump out of my chest. Hi, Amelia.
You quit school, didn't you?
Yeah, there's something I really wanted to say to Amelia alone.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm actually going to Europe because my dad is working there, but I want you to keep it a secret. Amelia, do you have a computer?
I want a computer, but I'm saving up for one.
I see. This is my computer email address. If you buy a computer, email me if you want. I might not be able to reach you on my cell phone.
Yeah, I get it. I want to go there too. I lost my dad early and I'm living with my mom and grandmother. And my mom's brother, who is my uncle, took good care of me. My uncle speaks Spanish, and I adore him.
Then I'll teach you Spanish when I get back home.
I'm looking forward to it. Good luck buying a computer.
With that conversation, I cycled home on the night road with Amelia at that time, said goodnight, and parted ways. And the next week, my dad came to pick me up. Then I left for Europe with my dad. I didn't have very good memories of my school life. My heart is excited about my new life, leaving all those unpleasant things on the clouds I can see below. I spent some time in my dad's apartment. My dad bought me some study books and I worked hard on my studies. I also learned native Spanish by shopping and walking with my dad. After that, I went to a university in Spain and started living in a dormitory. Although there were some Americans at the university, I made Spanish friends, no one harassed me, and I enjoyed my university life. It's been 4 years of diligent study so that I can graduate, since graduation is very difficult. Then, at the age of 22, I graduated. My dad's company introduced me to Williams Corporation, where I started working as a salesman. It is a major furniture manufacturer in Spain. The older students were good people, and it was fulfilling to occasionally go out to eat, etc., with them in native Spanish and to meet with friends from my school days. One day, I got an email on my computer. It was from Amelia.
How are you? Sorry it's taken me so long to get back to you. I bought a computer, but it took me a long time to get used to my job. I got the job right after I graduated high school on my uncle's advice. I finally learned how to use a computer properly.
Amelia, thanks for your message. I'm working in Spain. I'll be working here for a while, but plan to return one day. And Amelia's email made my heart skip a beat. After that, although there was a time difference, I frequently emailed Amelia to report on what was going on. In an email from Amelia, she told me that James and his friends had all been accepted to Stanford University, and that the 4 of them had joined the same company as Amelia as new graduates on good terms. I suddenly almost laughed, wondering how close those 4 mean guys were. And I got used to business negotiations in Spain, and I got a lot of contracts. My dad seemed to be pretty good at his job, and he was the executive director at the time. Amelia did not seem to meet anyone in particular and continued to work as a clerk. I was 30 at the time. Around that time, my dad told me it was time to return to America and do my best at the American branch. Then I got a job as a sales representative in the US office. And when David, the section manager, introduced me to everyone, I couldn't believe my eyes. Amelia was there. Then there was Sam and 2 others, led by James. Amelia, James, and the others rolled their eyes. The branch manager here and my dad are good friends, and since I was new to sales in the US, I asked the branch manager to treat me as a mid-career hire and said I would work hard from scratch. And my background was kept secret from the employees. So I was taken from being a flatbed employee to running a sales operation by the section chief, but first it was a meet and greet. James and the others will be my seniors in a manner of speaking. There are 4 people in my office that I didn't even want to meet. I emailed Amelia's in-house computer first. Amelia kept the secret. Then I promised to go out to dinner with Amelia. After leaving the office, I stopped by a restaurant with Amelia.
I was really surprised already. I had heard that someone new was coming in, but I didn't realize it was John.
Sorry, I should have told you first, but I didn't expect Amelia to be here, and James and the others.
That's right. I was surprised to see that James and the others were the 4 new graduates who joined the company. My uncle is the branch manager here, right?
Really? Then the branch manager's niece was Amelia.
Yes. It really is a pleasure to work with John.
I'm surprised and happy too. My dad used to work at the head office here, so I was working in sales for the company, and he told me it was time for me to go train in the US.
Oh, that's right. Now you know, I'm living alone near my office because it's such a long commute.
Oh, me too. I'm living in a studio. How are your mom and grandma?
I go home on holidays sometimes, but they are fine. What about John's mom and grandma?
My grandma has dementia and is in a nursing home. My mom is still working. She works in the general affairs department here.
What? Julie is in the general affairs department?
Yeah, it's been so long.
It's a surprise today. Would you like to have dinner together like today in the future if you like?
Oh, of course. And Amelia and I often had meals together, and our relationship gradually deepened. I was a shy salesman in the US. It is difficult to improve sales performance. Then one day, when David was not around.
Hey John, how did you get into this big company? You dropped out of high school. You graduated from middle school. Have you been out of town since then and doing freelance work?
I got a high school diploma, in case you're wondering. Well, I'm a freelancer. It just so happens that this place accepts high school graduates. I think I passed the interview.
It's still tough being poor. We're the elites who graduated from Stanford University.
I see. I gave him a brief response. Sometimes I was called by the branch manager and asked to prepare materials on furniture imported from Spain. They are supposed to translate the work into Spanish and give it to the sales employees.
Hey, John, you'd better put together my contract documents for today. A bottom feeder like you can't close any business at all.
Yeah, I'm not a good salesperson. Saying this, I took the materials from James. James commanded Sam and the others.
John, keep this together.
They left the materials on my desk. I was in the sales department, but I told the branch manager how it was going and how I was a student, and told him that I was just putting together papers and doing chores. The branch manager said,
"I'm sorry, John, but your material is perfect. Besides, Amelia told me that you were classmates with Amelia too."
Yes, we were in the same apartment complex, so we were like childhood friends.
"She is my precious niece who is struggling but has a good heart. Be good to her."
Of course. After that, Amelia still enjoyed having dinner and going to the movies together as friends. Sometimes we even go to my parents' house together. Amelia has become a mature, beautiful, and elegant woman. I was crushing on her every day. I'll have to tell her sometime. 3 years passed with that thought in mind. I kept in touch with Amelia on my cell phone, and the days passed by. I make up my mind one day. I have to propose to Amelia. I then invited Amelia to a fine restaurant. The ring is in my pocket.
Thank you, John. I've never been to such a nice place before.
Oh, it's my first time here too. Thanks for all the secrecy. I've ordered a course and we're going to have a nice dinner.
Yeah,
I fall back in love with Amelia in her beautiful dress. We were enjoying a delicious meal and talking about our old days. But my heart was very loud. At one time, Amelia was envied by the girls and was quiet and alone in the classroom. Once she started working, she was back to being as cheerful as when she was a little girl. When we have finished some food and are ready for dessert, Amelia, I've always liked you for a long time. If you like, please go out with me on the premise of marriage. I bowed my head that way and handed him the small box. Amelia gently accepted the small box.
I've always loved John too. Thank you. I'm glad.
Amelia looked at the diamond ring, tears welling up in her eyes, and confessed to me. And we're going out on the premise of marriage. One day, I thought I had to tell the branch manager, but Amelia said she reported it to him first. I am still working nonchalantly, leaving James and the others in charge of the materials. For lunch, Amelia secretly made my lunch. She was worried because my lunch was always junk food. Then James told me,
Hey, did John start cooking for himself? You're still poor as ever. Or is that Mom's lunchbox?
I'll have to cook for myself. I told him so in a casual manner. When I return from my lunch break at my desk, I receive an extension from the branch manager.
I'm sorry, John. Can you come to my office for a minute?
Yes, sir. Then I knocked on the branch manager's room. Then he asked me to sit on the couch.
I have a sales pitch for a foreign furniture brand in a new residential area coming up, and I have a Spanish client coming in. Could you work with me to translate and present it to the customer?
Understood. Please let me do it. I answered, and on the day of the visit, I took the form of a normal business trip and went to the airport with the branch manager to pick up the client. I then greeted them in fluent Spanish. Later, I went with the client to one of the real estate companies. New home buyers were directed to the real estate agent. The client and I pulled out a catalog and explained to the customer in English the durability and quality of the Spanish furniture and sofas. I translate carefully to the customer as I interpret. Most of the customers decided to buy sofas and furniture. The business meeting was successfully concluded, and the branch manager and the Spanish client decided to go to a fancy restaurant. The client was happy to hug me. They were smiling and enjoying their meals. Then, that night, I dropped the client off at his place of lodging, and I was left alone with the branch manager. I went back to the office where everyone had left with the branch manager, and he said he needed to talk to me.
Thank you very much for today. It was a good business meeting thanks to you, John. Actually, we are planning to have more foreign brand furniture business meetings like this in the future. I wonder if I could ask John to be the managing director of this branch office?
What? I'm the executive director?
I also heard about Amelia. Amelia is a high school graduate, but she is good at accounting. I hope that you and Amelia will eventually support this company together.
Thank you.
I have a little problem. James and his colleagues in sales are taking credit for the business meetings of junior salespeople. David, the section manager, found out about it. I emailed the juniors one by one to ask them about it, and they said there was no mistake. From today, you are the executive director, but I want you to secretly watch James and the others for a while.
What are those guys doing? In the first place, they are in a position to mentor the juniors. Yes, sir.
Oh, and about your marriage to Amelia. When you two decide on your plans, please invite me to the meeting with your mother.
Of course, sir. My face got a little hot. It probably would have been red. After that, I became the executive director, but I and David were on the floor watching James and the others. The materials given to me by James and his colleagues were indeed many of those contracted by the juniors. I put a sticky note on the document and handed it to David. And I took a copy to my department head as well. Although they almost caught me in the act, James and the others seemed to think that I was reporting their exploits to the director. They were on top of things now more than ever and reported on the juniors' performance as if they were their own. That James and his team report, but later it will all be damages. I kept quiet for a while, and after dinner with Amelia, we were talking about it.
James and the others have always had bad personalities, but it wasn't just their personalities. Too bad.
And then I changed the subject. Branch manager asked me to invite him to our family meeting.
Oh, right. When shall we do it then?
How about this coming Saturday or Sunday? The meeting between our two families was set for the following Saturday night. Amelia's mom and my mom are good friends in the neighborhood, and they were pleased with our marriage, and my mom had a nice conversation with the branch manager as well. Amelia and I were smiling and enjoying our meal. My dad looked up from his computer and spoke with Amelia and the branch manager. And we were going to have a ceremony in Hawaii, just the two of us. The branch manager and my dad gave us a 3-family house near the company where Amelia's mom and my mom can live together. Amelia and I jumped for joy. I can't believe that my marriage to my childhood friend, whom I've had my heart set on for a long time, will become a reality. Then we both turned 35 and we got married in Hawaii. Amelia's surname was Brown, but it became Amelia Smith. But she still went by the name Brown at the company. The sight of the beautiful Amelia in her wedding dress was burned into my eyes against the backdrop of the blue ocean. It really was picturesque enough for me. Amelia was in tears. My wedding ring was out of the way at work, so I took it off. One day, James said,
I saw you the other day, John. I saw you and Amelia walking around town together. Well, you two high school graduates from the bottom of the barrel make a good match. Amelia has always been beautiful, but I can't believe she chose John. Amelia's so stupid.
Hey, James, you can talk about me, but don't talk bad about Amelia. I yelled that in anger.
Oh yeah, that's a hot thing. It's funny. Me, Sam, and the guys, we're about to get a promotion soon. Wow, that's a big difference from the bottom of the barrel. You'll always be a flat employee, and you and Amelia will work hard. See? Sam.
Oh, we're getting a promotion. You'll always be poor old me.
That's what Sam told me too. I was so dumbfounded. Well, that's a great story for me too. By the way, do you want to be sent north or south?
What are you talking about, John?
James says so, and the other 3 open their mouths and pout. Then David, who already knew everything about me, appeared.
James and the others. It is John's orders. John is the executive director now, okay? You guys would be better off in the cold. So how about Minnesota? James and 4 others will be transferred to Minnesota. Prepare yourselves immediately. And I'll deduct the amount of sales performance that you have stolen from the junior staff from now on from your salaries. So be prepared.
What? John, executive director?
That's right. It is not about the bottom line or John or Amelia. I'm sorry for James and the others, but this company is not based on academic background. It is a meritocracy. John graduated from a famous Spanish university and worked at the head office. He had been a mid-career salesman in the US since the beginning, but he was a very successful salesman in Spain. The other day, he has just had a big business meeting with our client. More business meetings will increase in the future. The new employees are also all fluent in Spanish. You guys have been taking those junior employees' grades and making them your own behind their backs. Prepare yourselves well and do your best for all 4 of you in a cold region.
Oh no, David.
Then the other 3 turned blue, and they were on their knees toward the juniors, crying and apologizing. The juniors are silent. Now, James and the others, get ready and get out of here. This is an executive order, okay? When I said this, James and the others rounded their backs, cleared off their desks, and left the floor. The juniors were delighted, and they were hailing. James and 4 others then voluntarily resigned, saying they did not like the cold region. It appears that damages have been notified to the 4 individuals through their attorneys. Meanwhile, we've got our new 3-family house and we're living happily as a family. Soon after, our baby was conceived in Amelia's belly. My dad is also happy to return home once his grandson is born. The branch manager has a smile on his face every day. Our moms and Amelia's grandmother sometimes gather in the living room to enjoy dinner, and our family always smiles. I forgot all about my dark school days and vowed to work hard to protect my new family and follow in the footsteps of the branch manager.